everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to Kit Krunch and also to our monthly celebrations YouTube hop. So definitely hit the show more button and look below at all the beautiful ladies that is going to be in this YouTube hop and see what they're going to celebrate for the month of May. Love this YouTube hop because everybody has a different style, everybody has a different season that they're in, and also to everybody scrapbooks. You know, we scrapbook different things at different times. I love it. I think it's a great idea by Nicole and Grace. So what I'm going to do is that when I put this Kit Krunch together, I had mom and home life in my brain. So I'm absolutely going to scrapbook about Mother's Day a couple years ago. And with that, there's lots of things to celebrate in May. But I think one thing, if you don't know what to do, just scrapbook, because I think that is what you should celebrate. The entire month of May is this beautiful hobby. So when I put this Kit Krunch together, I made it a little bit different as I normally did because I had already had individual page kits made up ahead of time. And so I just put them in with this kit because I was inspired by this beautiful Cardabella 12 by 12 sticker sheet. So, of course, what's not to love? There's pink and turquoise and navy and floral. Yeah, we even got some mushrooms going on in there. Yes. Did anybody ever go mushroom hunting when they were little? Now, my whole family does the whole mushroom hunting, but I myself have never gotten to do that. I've asked my dad, but I don't know if he wants to tell me or show me where he gets his mushrooms. But, yeah, the only way I would eat a mushroom out of the wild was if my dad picked it, because I know he knows what he's doing. So, but wild mushrooms, there's a certain morel mushroom. Anyways, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Yeah, okay, stop, Janet, stop. So, as I was saying, when I put this Kit Krunch together, you know, it was constructed different because I had individual page kits. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you of those page kits that I had already made ahead of time, which one did I select to use with my photos, because I get asked that a lot. And then also I pulled out my stamps and my alpha dies, and I'm going to show you what my plan is for that too. So, you know, sometimes plans don't go as we plan, but we're going to do it. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to show you the photos I have because this is about Mother's Day. And I get asked this a lot, is that when I print photos, do I print my photos according to what my layout's going to be? And no, I don't. At one time, I did that. And I would have a sketch, and I just have some floating around here because it is, it is National Scrapbook Day weekend. Okay. And I'm just going to say one thing right now, and I'm probably not going to say it for a few more months. How about over the entire summer? If my vehicle, oh Lord, if my videos are too chatty and I talk about too many different things, please just use the fast forward button and just skip around, okay? Because I have some subscribers that ask me specific questions and I want to answer them because my subscribers mean the world to me. So I'm just going to say that once and be done because I am a chatty person. So just hit that fast forward button and scroll right along to where you want to be. So at one time, I would absolutely sit down in front of my printer with sketches picked out, and I'd say, okay, this is going to be Mother's Day 2017. That's going to be at the beach. That's going to be at the pool. And then I would have the layouts, you know, I'd have my notebooks, and then I would just pick out sketches, and then I printed my photos according to my sketch. And I thought it was a very long process, and sometimes I would get overwhelmed and then I would just not want to do it. Okay, so now what I do to speed up the process, because as I go in my journey, that is one thing I'm always trying to do, is speed up my process because I want to do more pages. And and I think that's probably why I like scrapbooking so much. Other than, you know, how you cross stitch and crochet and things like that, is because you can have a finished product in a small amount of time. I think that's for me. So anyways, what I do now is when I print, long story short, is I print my favorites in a 4x6, and then all the ones that were not my favorite, I print in wallet. And then sometimes if I'm thinking, that might be too many big photos for one page, I will go ahead and print something in a 4x6 and a wallet, because whatever I don't use on this page, I will just put a date on the back and stick it in my leftover box. And you've seen that in my photo series where this would go. This would just go in the food category, okay? And so I don't print a 4x6 on a wallet with everything, just the ones I'm not so sure. You know, this is just ice cream. Do I really need it on a 4x6? But then maybe I want to because, you know, it was a special trip, driving 2 hours to get some ice cream, yeah, on Mother's Day. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, oh, I'm sorry, oh goodness great, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, Jan, come on. Lord, I have a bad today. Okay, what was I even saying? Oh man, I should start this over. Sorry, ladies. So, when I print my photos, long story short, I print my favorites, and usually if I have a photo of us together, that's always a 4x6. And then if I have a special photo that looks pretty, you know, the focus is really good, it's a 4x6. But then everything else is just basically, I don't worry, is this all vertical, is it all horizontal? I just print my favorites, whatever orientation they are, 4x6, and then all my supporting photos are in wallets. And then if I don't know, one of each, okay? But I don't do that a lot. But if I don't know, I just make a decision and go with it, because otherwise you'll sit there, well, what do? I just do it fast. And I only print in these two sizes, I would say 85% of the time. Yes, just a 4x6 and my wallets, which two of these go on a 4x6 for me. I just do that in my Fuji software. So with that being said, when I'm also printing photos, I print whatever I like of that event, and I do not think, is that going to be a 1-page or a 2-page? I don't even think about that. I don't think about a sketch. I don't think about any of that when I'm printing photos. I just print my favorites, 4x6, and my, you know, supporting photos in my wallet. But I do not make any decision about anything when I'm printing. I just print, okay? And I think that helps print. You can print faster if you don't have to keep making all these other little small decisions as you're printing. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so with this here, this is just Mother's Day. And of course you see I have 6 photos. And I will not be I won't use all 6, but I am going to use 5. And I am going to use 5 on a 1-page, because I absolutely could stretch this out. Okay, true story. I could stretch this out to a 2-page. Okay. Of course, it'd probably go like that, you know, but I don't need to. I do not need a 2-page to tell the story of Mother's Day, because it was just about getting together and having a little bit of fun. I don't need a 2-page, so I'm not going to take the time and energy and the supplies to do a 2-page when my story doesn't require a 2-page, okay? So I will just put 5 photos on 1 page. So that means it's 4x6. The date's already on I put the date on the back, and so it's going to get put away with my leftovers. Okay, so how did I pick the papers? Okay, let's just get to the program. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I'm just enjoying this hobby this month. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so of course, you know, my stickers are going to go with so many topics that I scrapbook this month. So there are my story-based papers at the top. I'm not going to use them. Okay, so I can move that. So what I do is that when I'm picking, and of course these are already put together according to a actual page, I'm going to look at one photo, and it would be the one that I'm going to consider the most, and it's this one. Now here's what I have in my photos, is that these are just neutral colors. Special people, but they're just neutral colors. And then I have these beautiful red roses, and I will tell you, I don't have any I don't have a lick of red in this paper pile for my layouts, and I'm not going to be concerned about that, because that was something that I would have to have had to scrapbook this layout. I would have had to have red, because these red roses, but I don't do that anymore. I just go by mood and feel, and this photo means more to me than these red roses, so I'm putting this as my focal photo. I'm not even going to be concerned about anything else. If this looks good with my paper, everything else just coming along for the ride. Okay, and once I started to do that, that really sped up my process as well. Okay, so with this photo in mind, I have this group. Okay, and of course, beautiful. Okay, nothing wrong with that. And you're going to find that any of these would work. Okay, and then if I wanted to keep that there, I definitely could, but it really just doesn't, it just isn't going to be a concern to me, okay, because in the old days, I would have taken both of these and this one, and then what everybody else was wearing, and I would have this all sitting on the floor. Okay, well, I need a paper that has this, and I need a paper that's got some gray and some red and some purple and some blue, and how about the pink flowers, and then the ice cream. I would have had to, in my brain, I would have had to tell myself I need all these colors represented for my layout. Not anymore. I just go by my favorites. Everything else comes along for the ride. Okay. So that would work. That would be fine. So I'm going by mood and feel. Now this is a little too pink and turquoise, so skipping that. Okay. So then what else did I have? I had this. This is definitely has a lot of colors. It would definitely work, but this is a more modern feel to me, and I'm going for, you know, this is about Mother's Day, so I'm going for something a little more dainty, a little more feminine, you know, and homey. Okay, that's a little too basic, too plain, too turquoise. Yes. Okay. So when I say mood and feel, what is the mood? What do these papers make me feel like? Okay, these feel more graphic to me. That doesn't feel like home and Mother's Day. And so sometimes you'll see that this is what I do. I absolutely take my photo and I put it right on top of those pattern papers. Okay. Now the reason I'm showing this is because I got asked several times, and most recently I got asked if I could just spend a little bit more time showing this, and so I thought, why not? Because I did it exactly with this kit, so why not show it? So this is getting close. We got the floral, we got the blue. It's getting close. Okay, and this is fun because, of course, look at the background behind my hubby. It has a cold stone creamery, which I will tell you, anybody who named their business that way surely cannot say it fast. Try to say that word, cold, right here, Cold Stone Creamery. Try to say that fast. Hello, you called Cold Stone Creamery? It is so hard to pronounce. So, anyways, this chalkboard look would be perfect because that's what's in the background. But this isn't about the ice cream shop. This is about Mother's Day. So that's how I make that decision, okay? There's nothing wrong with this, but that's just not what I want my focus to be on. So, skipping that, but that would have been perfect, okay? We also had pink for girls, but no. Okay, now we're getting into some floral. Very, very nice. I considered that one. Okay, and then we have another floral. Okay, definitely. What do we have? Floral and navy. Oh, no, see, I really considered that because this is really starting to feel like mom and home and just, you know, cozy. Cozy mom and home, okay? And so then the last one here is this one. I considered this one too. But this one just felt a little bit more, I don't know. But I liked it. But still wasn't the feel that I wanted. Okay, so then, long story short, bringing this puppy home for a landing, which one did I pick? And it was this one right here. Okay, this was the one that I really picked. I really liked, and this is the one I picked because I focused on this photo, and this, to me, I liked it. Of course, look what my little girl's wearing. That's probably why. And then we have the floral, which is in that pink, and it has different colors. And so I will definitely be putting my red roses on top of that. And why does this work, even though I don't have a lick of red in each one, in any of those papers? Because this is flowers. And this is flowers. So you still have something that ties in this photo, even though I don't have a stitch of red, okay? So that's just something you have to tell yourself and break the habit. Just because there's red or blue or orange or turquoise in the photo, you do not have to have it in your paper. Just go by your one photo that is your favorite photo, and that's my favorite photo. The roses were beautiful, but they aren't my favorite. These people are my favorite, okay? So that's why I'm focused on that. And so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to use these papers, okay, with this Cold Stone Creamery, which is an absolutely wonderful restaurant. The way they do your ice cream, and you get to pick your toppings and see it done. The concept's really good. But whoever came up with that name, yeah, they didn't do that one right. That's really hard to say very quickly. Okay, so then I told you I was going to show you what I'm going to do for stamps. and my alpha dies, because those are 2 tools. And I will tell you, as I was sitting here thinking about what I wanted to do for a title, you know what I wanted? I wanted some thickers, and I thought this is exactly why I didn't put any alphas in my kit, and I just put the dies, because if I have a chance to work with dies or just pull letters off of a sheet, you know which one I'm going to pick. But that's how you can challenge yourself to use dies, is don't put any other alphas in your kit. Yes, because you're going to need an alpha. You have to go get it. Okay, so of course I put this Making Memories Splendor, I'm sorry, My Mind's Eye, Making Memories, boy, that was a long time ago. My Mind's Eye stamp set by Splendor. I wanted to play with this, and so I just took a cue from what is in my paper here, this beautiful Maggie Holmes Gather. Okay, and this is called Kate. Very pretty. And so I thought, oh, I'll play with this leaf here, and then also too this label, okay, because I'm going to probably maybe do some embellishing on the one side. So I indeed broke out my platform, and then I did some stamping, okay? And I will not use all of these, but since I was just playing with some white scraps, and so when I do my stamping and I have my platform out and I have an ink out, I just fill up that whole entire scrap, because I already have all the supplies out. Why not? And then this is a good way to fill up your embellishment containers and your little boxes and bins, and it's ready for the next page. So I just absolutely, I use a Jenny Bolin ink. This is so old, and I'll tell you what, it works so beautiful. I mean, it doesn't dry out. I don't know if there's a year, but anyways, it is called Stick Candy. Very, very nice. I wish they would have came out with a lot. But anyways, I just took my ink swatch and I just took it right up to my paper. Yes, close enough to perfect. Stamped out those leaves. Okay, now when I fussy cut, I will not fussy cut in between each one of those branches. That's too difficult for me. No, I am not. I like to fussy cut, but I'm not a fussy cutter. No, I do the cheap version. Okay, cheap sheets. And so then, of course, I took that. It's a very hand-drawn label, okay, and these type of images that look hand-drawn are perfect for fussy cutting, because your fussy cutting isn't going to be perfect, and it will just go along with an image that's not perfect. And so you see how many I stamped. I'm only probably going to use 1 or 2, but I went ahead and filled up that scrap. So I absolutely did some stamping. Will they land on the page? I don't know, but I have some embellishments done. So then I pulled out my Echo Park die set. And so then what I did is that I ran this die, and I'm going to do my title with foam, okay? Because, you know, I wanted it thicker, so I made my own. So what I did was just ran it through my Sizzix, and when I got this Echo Park set, I kept it together. Now, some people would take your little snippers and your little pliers and cut them apart, but I thought since this was just a nice little size, I didn't want to have to finagle and finagle with each individual letter when I wanted something. And so the word I'm going to use for my title is special, because my family is special and I get treated special on Mother's Day. So I just cut this out in foam, okay? And I used this, I just ran it through once. Instead of having to get my S, my P, E, C, I, A, L, I just ran it through as one whole group, okay? And then you see how wonderful. This was just one run through. Okay, and there's my S and my P. I mean, this is just foam that came from Michael's. It's nothing fantabulous. And it's really not a white, and it's really not a cream, I think, because it's really old. But it's going to go so well for my page. So I liked how that happened. Okay, and I will have a link below telling you what that what this alpha die set is, because several people have asked me, so I will have that listed below, but I can't think off the top of my head what it is. Okay, S-P-E-C-I-A-L, yes, special. That's going to be my title that I used a die set. Yes, this is what it's all about over the summer, using some things rather than just saying we're going to use some things. So now what will I do with these left over? I'm going to probably, I might put this in a bag so it can just stay like this, so I can see in a quick reference what I have. But I'm going to just keep this with my kit, and maybe I can make another word for my next layout. Yes. Or if not, I mean, honestly, just run this whole thing through at one time like that, okay? And then, of course, my magnet sheet is just a dryer vent, and someone just asked me about that, so I'm just going to show, if you don't mind hanging on. Okay, this is what it is. It's magnet vent covers. My hubby gets these at Lowe's. You get 3 in a pack, and they are, let me give you the size. They are 8 by 15, so I get 3 of these. Okay, let me take this die set off. I get 3 of these out of 1 sheet. Okay, so that means I get 9. 3, 6, 9. I get 9 out of a pack, and I'm not even going to tell you how much they are. They're not that expensive. But my husband just gets them for me at Lowe's, okay? And that's how I have my dies. I mean, it works well, and I just adhere that with some ATG on a piece of cardstock. That's how I do my dies. Okay, so that is enough chit-chat about how I'm going to start this page, but I wanted to show a little bit about some tools, how I pick out the papers, and answer some questions I get along the way. So come back, and I will have a finished page about how my family is special, my mom is special, and how I get treated special on Mother's Day. Okay, so hold on, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with my finished page, and absolutely had fun playing, and it didn't take me very long because I did not have to worry about getting out a sketch and figuring out a design. And why is that? Well, I had talked about in the previous segment that I had 5 photos. I wanted to use 5 photos, and there was no sense in me doing a 2-page layout because these 5 photos told my story, and I could do it on a 1 page. That increases your process time and increases the number of pages you can do over time. So with these 5 photos, I simply just put them on a block piece of paper, that Maggie Holmes Gather floral paper, and so then when I put those photos on that block became my design. That is how simple it is, because right here you see that this Maggie Holmes paper right here, that is in a block. That is my design, and all that really is just a mat for my 5 photos. So you can do that when you have multi photos. Sometimes we're figuring out on a 1 page when we want to do multi photos, well, where are we putting this and putting this and putting this? Simply just go to your block design, put those photos in like basically a grid, put it on a block of paper, and call it good. And then just play with either a visual triangle, or in my case I did a visual design. And so then I did use my dies, and I did a foam title, very lovely, you know, like I really like how that turned out, and of course using the word special. Yes, and then of course I had a doily that was in my kit. I just cut that down, and you'll see where I put the other part in just a minute. And then of course I used some embellishments that was in my kit that I had stamped, and then also too I showed this in a Spending Freeze freebie. All of these embellishments came from a gift bag that my little one gave me a birthday gift in, so love that. Now I'm only going to have about 3 or 4 lines of journaling, and it's going to go right over some of this photo and this Maggie Holmes paper. And then look what I did for a photo corner this time. I pulled out some Maggie Holmes washi and just did it here and there. So when you're using photo corners, it doesn't have to be an actual product. You can use washi tape for that. And using a photo corner doesn't have to go in every corner. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I wanted to show one other thing, 2 other things, 3 other things, who knows, is that, remember I had talked about in the other segment too about this pop of red. And so I didn't have any red in my papers and anything like that. And I really didn't even have much of a red, maybe a dull red in my kit, and it was a jelly bean flower. So I thought that is what I would do to make this not look so misplaced, is that I put that pop of color here and here. So that photo with that bold red and this flower and this heart makes that visual triangle, so it doesn't look misplaced. You can absolutely trick the eye doing that. And so then I wanted to show that with these images that I had stamped from this My Mind Die stamp set, I did indeed put those on my page. And then also too, I used my Wink of Stella. So you can see that the leaves, 3 of them are here and 1 is here, and then there's that banner, and I just used those as clustering bases. And I get that question a lot as to what to use or how to start a cluster, find clustering bases. And so it's just a bigger piece. You can use this as a cluster base, this is a cluster base, and you can absolutely use something like this right here as a cluster base, and you just build things on top of it. And so on these leaves, I took my Wink of Stella pen, and this is just in the clear glitter, and I went over that, and I'm getting low, so I wasn't too impressed with how it looked. And I thought, oh, you know, I had recently, well, last year, got a set of art ARTC set of glitter pens at Tuesday morning, and they were much, much cheaper than this Wink of Stella, so I thought I would break it out. And this is what it looked like. It came in a set, and so it came in the clear, which is what I was after, and then also basically a gold and a silver. They don't have any wording on them as what they are, but I think that's what it is. Gold, silver, and then a clear. So you can see this neon green here. This is what that is to keep your pen from activating in the packaging. So you just take this neon green ring off of that, and where it says push, push, yes, now do this on a scrap piece of paper, and that's how you prime it. And I will tell you something, I was surprised. I really think I like these ARTC pens better than this Zig Wink of Stella brush pen. And I'll show you why here if you want to hang on. And I was surprised. I was like, because this was like one of those last minute purchases I threw in my cart one day, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have, but I'm telling you what, I'm glad I did, because look at the nibs. On the left is the ARTC, and on the right is the Wink of Stella. Not only is the pen bigger, so you're getting more, and these were cheaper. This set of 3 was cheaper than one of these at Wink of Stella. And then look at the nub. Now this is a little bit wore because I've been using it for a while, but big difference there. So if you see these at Tuesday morning, it was very inexpensive for a set of 3. Again, it was cheaper than this one. And of course, there's a size difference. Yes. Happy with that. I mean, you know, sometimes you get purchases and you don't know, but I'm like, I like these better. And then I got a silver and a gold to play with, but I really wanted to clear. Because I have to order this online, and I don't like to order things online because I'm trying not to order things online. So that was interesting find for me. Didn't know that. Okay, so again, my journaling will go here. Very, very happy with how it turned out. So I hope showing some of those things in the previous segment will help you when it comes to printing photos, and also to maybe increasing the number of pages you do, because you can just do a layout with more than one photo. There's nothing wrong with any of it. Absolutely. So I had some leftovers, and so what did I do? I made a Mother's Day card. Yes, I did. So I took a piece of doily that was left over, one of those leaves that was left over, and another one of these stems left over, and that banner piece that I stamped out, and a little scrap from the Maggie Homes, and now I have a Mother's Day card ready to go for the weekend. Yes, love that. And I'm trying to tell myself, when I have these scraps laying around, to go ahead and do that, to go ahead and make a card. So one of the things I've been doing this year is having blank card bases made and in my arm's reach. And so I will just take a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it in half, either horizontal or vertical, and it gives me 2 card bases. And then I just have a stack of them right near my scraps. And so then I don't have to think, oh, you know, I got to go make a card. No, just grab a base and slap and stick, baby. Yes, everything's already here. My color scheme is already here. Even had embellishments for the holiday I need to celebrate. So that was great. So I encourage you to use your scraps right at the end of a layout. Keep making these cards, because cards are going up in price. So love how that turned out. So that is how my layout all came together, celebrating Mother's Day, celebrating being a mother to my little one, and the special relationships that we can have with fur babies, nieces, nephews. You don't have to be a mom to be a mom, and you know what I'm talking about. Yes, absolutely. So that's all I have for this start to finish and this monthly celebrations YouTube hop. Definitely hit that show more button, and you'll see the links below to all the other talented lady in this monthly celebrations YouTube hop. And so come back next week at this time, and I will keep playing with this kit, and who knows, maybe I'll get some more stamping in. You know, that floral is just begging to be used. Absolutely. So that's all I have for today. Come back to RTS, because you never know what we're gonna do. Bye.